The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, man? It is your guy, Scott. You know to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BarbChairScott, man. It is December 4th, 2023. Yes, this year's coming to an end. Slowly but surely, it's coming to an end. We're about to be in the future of 2024, man. You know to follow the Barbers Chat Network at BarbersChatNet on Twitter and Instagram, man. Subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/BarbersChat Network. Of course, on there, you get everything before everybody else does. You get overtime, which we do not put on the free feed, which is basically we talk about Chicago sports, and we get into the stuff we couldn't get into in the main hour of the show. And of course, you'll be getting all the clips and segments before everybody else get them. And you get the full show audio, not just the first hour of the show, man. So get that right now. We appreciate everybody who is already subscribed. If you don't want to just have everything that the Barbershop has to offer on the Patreon, which I don't know why you wouldn't, you can just do the $5 holler, which is the I'm Not Gonna Hold You tier. If you want everything from summer sessions to Cinema with the Guys to early 7 Night and Hallis episodes, subscribe to the Barbershop All Access tier, man. We appreciate you. The Barbershop store is coming soon. I know you hear me like, nigga, you've been saying that for a year now. But one thing, when you're coming out your pocket and you don't have investors yet, it takes a little longer. But we're going to have it for y'all very soon, man. The 2-week hiatus is over. We appreciate everybody who has been patient with us in this holiday season. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I just got back from New York this morning, knocking out the I'm Not Gonna Hold You holiday special, which we'll be giving y'all the details of when that's gonna drop. And like I said, the Patreon, if you want to watch it, you'll be the first ones to watch it when we drop it. So shout out to everybody in New York who held it down this weekend, and we put a lot of dope stuff out there, man. So we gonna bring the crew in as we look at the rundown for this first hour, man. We gonna do our sound off. We have a important sound off. One of our co-hosts on here said something very wild that we got to get into. We're going to talk about our top storylines from the football weekend, and we're going to give our previews for our picks for the in-season tournament, which the quarterfinals begin tonight. You got the Celtics, and you got the who are the Celtics playing? I know I should probably know this off the top of my head. Forgive me, I'm very jet lagged right now. We're gonna look at who exactly the Celtics are playing for this two in-season tournament. Y'all, they playing the Pacers. They playing the Pacers tonight. Celtics play the Pacers, and the Kings play Zion and the Pelicans tomorrow night. It will be the Bucks and the Knicks and the Lakers and the Suns. The in-season tournament championship will be this Saturday in Las Vegas, Nevada. So that's going to be really interesting. So we're going to get into that, give our picks for all that, man. So, yeah, and then let's go into what we're going to have in the overtime rundown for all of you who are going to check us out in the second hour. We're going to be talking about the Bears back from the bye, coming off a win over the Minnesota Vikings. And I just will tell y'all how brutally cold it was in Minneapolis last Monday. And this is coming from a guy who grew up in Chicago, has been all over the Midwest. That was ridiculous cold that I felt. So we're going to talk about what is the status of the team come back from the bye as they get ready for another division matchup with the Detroit Lions. We're going to talk about some of the whispers. We got Maury in the house. We're going to talk about maybe Jim Harbaugh might be coming home. It's starting to get a little louder. We're starting to hear people here talk about that. And then we're going to talk about the building blocks on the Bears. Is Ryan Poles being severely underrated with some of the pieces that he's brought in? We're going to talk about that. That'll be an overtime in the Patreon hour, man. So we've got everybody here. We got Dante, we got Courtney, we got Mari, who's filling in for Mikey. Mikey will be back on Friday. And of course, the one and only JR Bang. We've got some dude debuting on the Barbershop Network this week. But before we get into that, Bang came on here in our pre-show meeting and said he has never been to Trader Joe's. Now, I don't know if this is wild because I live in Los Angeles and there's a Trader Joe's on every block, but there's a lot of Trader Joe's out here too. And I want to know why exactly have you not been there?
Hold on, let me put the spotlight on. We're gonna give you the floor for this one, nigga. We need to
please unmute yourself. Unmute yourself,
brother.
You're muted, Bang. You are muted,
My
sir.
bad.
My bad. I'm out here looking like Shy McBride on this goddamn. Nigga kept. Hey, on the episode on the beginning of the first Black Chant that you guys listen to this week on the Barbershop Network, I call myself Shy McBride because my man Cam from the porch said I shaved my shit off and I look like Shy McBride. That being said, no, I ain't never been to Trader Joe's. I've been to Whole Foods. I've been to
which Shy McBride era? Are you undercover brother Shy McBride?
Whatever the one means, shit. Yeah, he ain't had no facial on that bitch.
See my
I got it. It's just cut low. You know what I'm saying? You know, but no, I ain't never been to Trader Joe's, fam. I don't know why. I really don't know why, other than it's not one near me. The closest one that was near me was when I was living in Maryland, and that was still a hop, skip, and a jump away. So no, I just think I ain't never been there because it's not one near me. That's all. Don't cut me down like that. Like, tell me about Trader Joe's where I should be there.
I mean, that's fair.
The
That's
snack
fair.
foods are elite. The prepackaged frozen foods also elite. For someone, keep in mind, our circumstances, our lifestyles are very different. I live by myself. I cook for myself.
I'm about to say, you said that shit like I was like poor or something.
No.
The way you led in, like,
it's not
stop eating them government snacks, nigga.
No, it's
your broke ass shop at Jewel's.
Oh, and you don't need a list. You don't go into Trader Joe's with a list. You let
you don't.
guide in the spirit of Trader Joe's.
You go in there with vibes,
through the store. It's sensational.
Nah, bro, it's next level. It's like perfect
dumpling.
portions for like 1 to 2 people, bro. Like if you got 1 or 2, like you don't have too many leftovers. You
and
in
it's
and out.
not expensive. I mean,
I'm not a leftover guy. I hate
That's
leftovers, really.
Perfect place for you, bro.
Oh.
And I know,
I might be crazy and never been to Trader Joe's. I can understand you've never been to Trader Joe's, but the leftovers, my brother, that kind of.
No, because it's like once it get to the afternoon, fam, I will buy. Even though I will go buy something else, and it's leftovers right there.
No, I feel you. I will say, so the thing about Trader Joe's, like once you go there, you're going to find something that you love because they have something great, no matter what it is. The category, like if you like sauces, right? They got
I'm a sauce guy.
They have a garlic jalapeno hot sauce that you're gonna fucking love if you're a sauce guy. I tried that sauce, and every time I go now, I'm telling you right now, listen, take that recommendation serious, and when you go pull up and get it, let me know how you enjoy it. But they also have a jalapeno limeade that I found out was seasonal because I went there maybe like a month or two ago, and I was asking Shorty at work. I said, "Yo, y'all don't." She said, "It's seasonal." So in my head, I'm like, "All right, cool. I'm mad about that today, but when I come back in cop, they're gonna need to scale their way to Wells with when I leave up out of here because I'm gonna leave it with all of it." You know what I'm saying? So, but they do have something for you, no matter what you like. Whether you're talking about like like you said, like the frozen food, the snacks, the juices, the sauces, whatever it is, you're gonna find something that you love. I guarantee you're gonna find something you love.
Also, even though we have 2 happily married men on this show, the soccer moms that be, the women who just got out from the gym, they be parked up in Trader Joe's, dog. They be in there.
Flannel games and all that.
The flannel games. Sometimes they come in there.
The parking lot is tiny. I will say that. So be careful, like how you. I don't know if that's everywhere, but the parking lot.
That's all of them. That's all of them.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah.
It's wherever it is.
That's crazy.
That's every Trader Joe's.
Yeah, they come in there.
So Trader Joe's is like a corner store. For the grocery store.
Kind of, no, but it's a full-on grocery store. And it's, again, relatively speaking, it's not that expensive. Like, I can go in there and if I drop $100 in Trader Joe's, my shit is stocked.
Yeah, no, that's good.
You eat good. You eat good.
Yeah.
And speaking of the snacks, bro. Yeah, speaking of the snacks, if you are a mint chocolate chip fan like I am, they got these mint chocolate chip ice cream cookies, G. Next level. Next level, bro. I'm telling you.
Don't sleep on Trader Joe's wine.
Trader Joe's.
You flame up, get you 2-3
Trader Joe's got wine?
Trader Joe's wine. Hey, my boy, let me put you on Trader Joe's wine.
Chuck. Stop playing. Stop playing.
It's a vibe,
I didn't even get wine the last time I went. I grabbed some beers. I just got, I got the single beers on the
they got the single beers.
$2 Chuck. Yeah, man. He passed away.
They sell candles. They sell house cleaning supplies. Man,
lotion.
Damn.
Go to Trader
The nearest one is in Naperville, fam, for me.
Yeah.
Shout out to the I'm gonna give an exact location. Shout out to the downtown Culver City Trader Joe's, because it's a whole little area. And Mario, you know about downtown Culver City. Shout out to Rocco. Shout out to people. Shout out to Culver City. Shout out to Rocco. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They held my man Maury down. I told him, I was like, look, I'm like Ted Danson on Cheers over here, nigga. Like,
nah, real shit. And I went out there. I'm gonna tell you, shout out to them, because when I was chilling, like after we got done eating and all that, homie at the bar was like, yo, let me get your glass and shit. And I was like, all right, bet. Instead of him just taking it, you know what I'm saying, whatever, he filled it back up on the house and was like, yo, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? You got that. And I was like, yo, that's love. So next time I'm out there, I gotta stop there for sure. Like,
shout out to them, man, because me, Damian, Pappy, we gotta have our jerseys up in there. We like Magic, Kareem, and Big Game up in Rocco's. Rocco's and held me down multiple nights in that decade I've been out there. But they got Trader Joe's over there. They got a movie theater over there. They got multiple bars. That's the spot to be at, right over there, man. So shout out to Trader Joe's. So I was just like, man, we gotta get bang in there. And so I'm surprised they ain't got one by you though. I'm surprised.
I'm shocked too, looking at the shit. The closest one, because I live in Plainfield, Joliet. The closest one is in Naperville.
Damn,
it's worth
in Orland Park, fam. I'm shocked.
It's worth it to make it to put a day aside and be like, yo, I'm gonna go there this weekend, or I'm gonna go there on this day. It's definitely worth it.
And it's not a terribly large store, so you're not gonna be in there for No. It's small.
There's 3 hours, bro.
3 hours with heat. But shout out to everybody, Chuck Jones. But how was y'all weekend, man? How was y'all holiday? It's been a minute since we been on here, man. Like I said, I've been in 3 cities in like a week, so it's like my idea of time is messed up right now. I was in Minnesota doing that god awful Monday Night Football game that was
in Minnesota with the GDs. In Minnesota.
Minnesota looks like downtown Minneapolis looks like it's a nice place during the summer if you like real low-key cities, which I do not, because I am all in the videos 24/7. I like cities where I feel like everything can go on in that particular time, man. So I was there, only there for 24 hours. Really wasn't even there for 24 hours. And I will say about the stadium, beautiful stadium. I do like the Midwest SoFi comparisons look like that. The only problem I had, it was so cold outside. And if it was just regular temperature, I wouldn't have had a problem walking around that stadium, because it's not like too big as far as like, how it's stretched around, but cool stadium. The game was bad, but Justin let it come back. Of course, we'll talk about that in a second now. But then we went to New York, had a good time out there. Shot some good content. Courtney, you weren't on the last show. How was your holiday?
My holiday was good. I went to the Cowboys Commanders games with Shakia. That was cool. I lost my voice that weekend. I actually ended up getting sick that next week. Like, that ran right into it. And then I just lost my voice again because I was yelling too much at Georgia fans. Roll Tide. We can get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna get that in a minute.
Get into that in a little bit, but yeah. I'm chilling, man. Life's good.
Mari, how was your holiday, man? How the kids, everything like that, bro?
Yeah, no, the holidays was good for me, man. I had to get my car serviced like the day before, you know what I'm saying? So I was chilling. I didn't like really do shit but eat some more, took a couple naps, had some drinks, which is a perfect day if you know me. You know what I'm saying? But we was chilling, man, really, you know what I'm saying? Just kicking it at home, dog. Like, what else could you ask for? You know what I'm saying? So I'm good money, man. I'm good. Definitely. Glad to be back on this shit for sure.
Man, glad to have you back on here, bro.
Yeah, you already know.
You got the try to get your schedule though, but
for sure,
bang. How'd it go for you, dog?
Man, can't complain. Actually, my little cousin, Prince's birthday was the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So we went over Sky Zone, as a family, what I'm saying, to kick it with them. It's real. Like, as I'm older now, it's weird, but feels good, what I'm saying, that me and my cousin and all of us, like, we got all of our kids, and, when we taking them like Sky Zone and all that shit reminds me of when our pops used to take us to like Kitty Land and stuff like that. So yeah, family wise, man, it was dope. Can't complain.
I got an old school name for you real quick. Odyssey Phone World, nigga.
Oh, yes, sir.
Odyssey Phone World, nigga. Who remember Hollywood Park? That's more teenage years, but who remember Hollywood Park, nigga?
Oh yeah.
Nah, that's Hollywood not me.
Park. Yeah, I know you was drinking age right then. No, but it was Hollywood Park. Yeah,
I used to wear them bad gauges out, G.
But yeah, shot Crestwood, nigga. We niggas be up there thinking they Nelly in the Dilemma video. Shout out to Hollywood Park. But Dante, how was your holiday? How was the break, bro?
It was solid, bro. You know, this is my little brother down here. He a freshman at Morehouse. This is his first Thanksgiving away from the crib. So we got to go over to one of my homies' crib and we spent Thanksgiving with his family. So that was dope. Just, you know, giving him an experience, something different without him having to, you know, sit on campus by himself. Other than that, I've been chilling, bro. Just ready to get to it. You know, some Christmas is right around the corner. I'll be at work, but it's always a fun holiday. So just excited for the winter meetings, really. You know, a lot of good shit is about to happen with baseball. So I'm
not
locked
in with that. But for other
I mean, I don't know who our team is, bro.
Not
our
team. Right now, exactly. But, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah. So we're gonna announce that on Friday when Mikey's on here. We're gonna start doing the free agent pitches because we are no longer rooting for that team on 35th and Shields.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat with y'all with that certain team. That I'm not going to name. You can say the name. I ain't going to say the name. But I got a couple pictures, man. I've been fielding some offers and all that. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple people that sent in some good pictures about like why I should join their fan base and you know all this, that, and third, and you know. So we'll see what's going on. We'll see.
I'm waiting for the Seattle team so I could go ahead and like the Sonics again.
I'm a Milwaukee Bucks fan now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cody, do you want to tell us why you're a Milwaukee Bucks fan? You don't want to put that on.
Yeah. I have been out of the loop for years on you know the alternate jerseys. So I was scrolling and I happened to see that the Milwaukee Bucks alternate it says Cream City. And I'm sorry, but that's just hilarious. That's a walking bit, and I gotta be a part of that.
I am not mature enough to not laugh at that.
That's hilarious. I mean, the jokes write themselves.
Yeah,
the jokes write themselves, man. I will say this before we move on to our first topic. Dante, you talking about your brother's first Thanksgiving away from home. Yo, the first Thanksgiving I have away from home was actually, I thought it was going to be weird, but it was actually pretty fun. Of course, I keep telling people I didn't have an actual college experience because I went to Columbia College downtown Chicago, and that was like Def Jam University for like 5 years. We didn't. It was just strictly about the entertainment industry. Like we didn't have frats, sororities, we didn't have teams. The parties were actually pretty huff, but they really were training you for the industry. So I didn't really have like a typical college experience. My first 4 years in Los Angeles are my college experience. You know, I was going to parties put together by Crip members, places that I would not be called dead now in year 10 in Los Angeles, but I was just all over the place. So during that time, I had moved in like September of 2014. So November comes, you know, I just, I'm just now getting used to, paying for things on my own. So I didn't have no money to go home. So I stayed there, stayed in LA. Shout out to the homie TPJ. We went to his co-worker's place. But then shout out my man Qualms. He had like a Thanksgiving kickback in Pasadena. And this was the first time that I have played dominoes because Chicago niggas do not play dominoes. That is strictly like a West Coast thing. And we had a real good time. And I ended up eating a lot of good food and got drunk off Hennessy and walked to my apartment at 5 a.m. in the morning. So that was a good time I had for my first Thanksgiving away from home, man. But let's get right to it. Top storylines of the football weekend. We're going to talk about NFL and college football, man. Let's start off with something that I did not want to put on this rundown, but it came flashing to me yesterday while watching Sunday Night Football, like very PTSD way hitting me, like these niggas have done it again. And I'm going to give this to J.R. Bang first because Bang is the more reasonable person out of everybody on here. He can give us a little wisdom. I'm hoping.
I resent that.
Reasonable Chicago sports fan. Reasonable Chicago sports fan. We can't all be like Championship Court, who all her teams win. But is Jordan Love decent, man? Bang, is Jordan Love? He 8 touchdowns in 2 weeks, bro.
You put this to me for a reason. you ain't shit. I just want to let you know you ain't shit because I said that the Green Bay Packers was gonna be in the ghetto.
Yes, you did.
All right, I said that. A couple of weeks ago, I was like, yo, they could have a top pick. Man, I'm so pissed right now at the Green Bay Packers. I'm tired of this shit. I'm not saying that Jordan Love is gonna be on the level of Green Bay legends Brett Favre, or Aaron Rodgers. I don't want this nigga to be Don Majkowski though.
I don't want him to be Bart Starr.
I don't want him to be, but Bart Starr is fucking a legend. I don't want him to be none of them niggas. And Don Majkowski, who was before Brett Favre, the Magic Man, I don't even want him to be him.
Before you continue, can I name his stats to make you even angrier for the season? Okay, he has played every game this year. These stats. Matter of fact, Dante, give me the widescreen for this one. I want to see everybody's face with this. So he has 2,866 yards passing. He has 22 touchdowns. He has 10 interceptions and a QB rating of 90.2. These are his last 4 games. Sunday Night Football, Bright Lights, defending champions, Lambeau, Chris Collinsworth in there doing wild facials on TV. Like it was nasty work by Collinsworth last night. 267 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Week before, against Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving, blew them cats out. 268 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Against the Chargers, 322 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Against that nice Pittsburgh Steelers defense, 289 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 2 picks. But that, my friend, that is 8 touchdowns? No, it's 10 touchdowns. My bad. My math is off. 10 touchdowns. 10 touchdowns and 2 picks in the last month. Now, Bang, I will give it back to you because, yes, I'm giving this to you because you said they were going to be in the gutter. So I'm going to make you face the music first. Go ahead.
I want to shout out my man Marcus Jordan, Swag. He's a true Green Bay Packers fan because he didn't leave them niggas when Aaron Rodgers left. I'm going to shout out to my man Rabbit, too. Shout out to my man Rabbit. I'm going to shout them two out. Hopefully they see this. Because them the truest, and my man Jack, them the truest Green Bay fans I know, because they didn't waver. Even when they thought Jordan Love was huffed, they didn't waver. I say all that to say this. It ain't Jordan Love, man. It's Matt LaFleur. I've come to the conclusion. I'm not going to shit totally on Jordan Love, but Matt LaFleur is a better coach than we thought. Because when Jordan Love was looking like he wasn't shit, they reeled Buddy ass back in. And they got that man looking like he is the best quarterback in the NFC North. So I want to give Matt LaFleur all the respect in the world because if he was in Chicago, Jordan Love wouldn't be shit. And Justin Fields would be a great quarterback. Also, even though they had Aaron Rodgers, they went and they grabbed Matt LaFleur. They could have grabbed a defensive coach, and just got somebody to run the offense that basically was going to listen to Aaron Rodgers. And for the years that Matt LaFleur was there, everybody kept saying Aaron Rodgers. He wouldn't be shit without Aaron Rodgers. He can't coach. Anybody could coach Aaron Rodgers. You go look at how we feel about Luke Gessie now, and then you also go look at how people look at Nathaniel Hackett. And he wet the bed in Denver, and he's wetting the bed in New York. Matt LaFleur, however, is looking like a credible NFL coach. And for this team to be 6-6, the way that they started off, the way Jordan Love looked after the Bears game, and how he looked against Patrick Mahomes, that's some great coaching that's going on. They putting him in the right spots. So even though Jordan Love doing this thing, all of that, I give all the respect to Matt LaFleur. It's a great coaching job that's going on.
I respect how you brought that back home and still ended up shitting on Jordan Love still in the end. I respect it. I'm gonna tell you. You had me in the beginning. You had me in the first half. I was all right, cool.
You see the emails I sent.
But boy,
you see the emails that I sent. Hey, my boss pride me on them emails.
Yeah, you brought that home beautifully. I like that. I respect that. I like it.
Well, Mark, what's your opinion as an outsider? What do you think about that?
I mean, shit. To be honest with you, man, like he's doing way more than I expected. Honestly, I mean, I think probably everybody has that opinion on it because once Aaron Rodgers leaves Green Bay, I'm pretty sure most of the fans who weren't like true fans probably left with him because they was just like, yo, it is what it is. If the Packers win the game, cool. If they don't, we expected it. But that dude is looking like he's good money, man. You know what I'm saying? I think obviously we probably still need to see him, still do more, like be, still stay at this level, be more consistent with it. But shit, right now it's hard to say he's not. I ain't gonna call him yet, no, nothing like that. But he's good money though. He's definitely good money, which is more than people were saying about him, a while back. So I'll fuck with him.
I'll say this before we go to Courtney and Dante and get their takes. So I'm not gonna lie, I did have flashes of like, oh my god, these niggas are doing it again while watching the game. Shout out my man Serge. We was watching the game, my homie Serge, and he was just like, as an outsider, he watches more or as he calls it, real football, soccer, than actual American football. And he's like, yo, son, they always got a good quarterback. And I was like, you don't have to remind me, okay? Like I am up here. Like, we're trying to piece together the most talented quarterback we've had in Justin Fields. And I see this nigga Jordan up here, Jordan Love, doing it with ease. But taking away my Bears PTSD, if I just look at it from a logical, my media eye, my non-biased fan eye, it's kind of like what Bang said. It's not even no discredit to Jordan Love. And because before he started going crazy in like the second half, it was that first touchdown drive. And I put actually in the I'm not gonna hold you group chat. I was like, look, he's making the game easy for Jordan Love. Imagine that. Something where you got Luke Getsy who makes the game difficult for Justin Fields. So just alone, that shows you coaching. And he's putting Jordan Love in good positions. He's not putting Jordan Love out there in positions that he's set up to fail. And one thing about Matt LaFleur, like you said, man, we got to give him his credit because everybody thought this was just an Aaron Rodgers thing. No, this dude is a really good play caller. He's coming from that same system that we saw Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan's been doing that. I think the biggest problem with, I like to call him Kendall Roy because he looks like Kendall Roy. Kendall Roy issue is sometimes he puts too much dip on his chip and he don't be running the football when he needs to. Other than that, he's a great play caller. And you're starting to see the same stuff from Matt LaFleur. And I feel like without Aaron, he's finally getting the credit he deserves. And we actually seen it was LaFleur. It was not Aaron's personal bag holder, Lou Getsy. It was LaFleur. So, but there was a lot of, and where's my brother? There's a lot of BLTs that Jordan Love threw last night that he got away with. But if you're a Packer fan, that's the stuff you want to see your quarterback get away with. That's the stuff that I wish I could see my quarterback get away with. So I don't think that this is like a new era in Packer football, and this is a guy that we got to fear and things like that. No, but I do think they're going to be competent. I think right now they're tied for the 7th wildcard spot. You know what I'm saying? That's a big win for them last night. So I'll say he's making improvement. I mean, 22 touchdowns, 10 picks in your first year as a starter. As much as I hate the Packers, I gotta, tip my hat to it. But I do think it's 75% Matt LaFleur more than anything, man. Let's go to Dante and then we'll go to Courtney.
I mean, as much as we want to just say LaFleur, just out of the because we Bears fans and don't want to get his man his credit. I said at the beginning of the year, I thought Jordan Love was going to be okay, and he's been beyond okay. Like I think he's shown a grasp of the offense, something that somebody who sat for 2 years should show you. Finally getting his shot, and I think he's had his struggles, but at the same time, when put in these positions, like you said, especially now with them going toward a division title potentially, he's performed well. LaFleur has done an amazing job. You talk about that Kyle Shanahan tree and those guys, LaFleur, Cliff, McVay, Kingsbury, all those type of offensive minds. Kingsbury is actually a guy I think the Bears should look at for offensive coordinator. That's just me though. But
who's getting him out of Dubai?
No, he's a QB coach at USC.
So who the nigga that went to Dubai? It wasn't Kingsbury?
No, he went to Thailand at first. It was like, don't call me. But Lincoln Riley is boy, and so he came back for that. Yeah, but no, like I think when you have those type of minds, and like you said, we've always talked about it. We talk about it every time we bring up the Bears. When you don't have people who are on the same page, and it looks like Getsy and Hackett have pretty much robbed the league blind, and it was LaFleur who's actually the offensive genius. And so when you have an offensive genius, so somebody who can really put a modern scheme out there and that puts your quarterback in a position to succeed, Jordan has done what he needs to do. I think it's still a young quarterback. You still got to see what he does as these weeks get closer. These weeks go on, he gets colder in Green Bay because I think that's gonna matter. We still have to see him play in those elements and how he embraces that. But I think so far, man, yeah, like I know as much as we want to hate it and we thought it was just gonna be our time to take over and all that shit. This is probably the reality check we needed. Like the Bears are gonna have to do a lot because he's solid. He's definitely a good quarterback.
Courtney, bring us home on this one.
I mean, listen, as a Saints fan, I've been knew that man was a terror. We had no business losing that game to the Packers that early in the season, but they did it. He balled out, and that's just been the story for them so far this season. And they're in a great position, like you were just saying right now, heading into this wild card hunt. Listen, they're in a prime position. They play the Bucks, the Giants, the Vikings, the Bears, and who else to end the season? Like they could very well, respectfully, win out. Like none of those teams are saying to me that they're a threat to anything that Jordan Love and that Packers team can do. I know the cold, etc. No. I buy into Jordan Love right now. I'm buying into it right now. Not saying he's a leader or anything, but it does make me actually, as a fantasy football enthusiast, kind of leads into one of the other topics that we're going to get to, which is, should we start worrying about Kansas City right now? He's got like basically the same stat line as Patrick Mahomes right now. Yeah. Like it's almost scary.
Identical.
Yeah.
Perfect segue. Before we get to that, I just want to say this to Bears fans. Once again, give me a wide screen on this one, Dante. I'm the Grinch here for Bears fans today. If you want Jim Harbaugh, right? If you want Jim Harbaugh to be a head coach, and I want Jim Harbaugh to be my head coach, do not let the Bears finish this season on a 3-game win streak, number one, which is very possible. If you look at who these niggas are playing, they're playing Desmond Ridder. As much as I like Kyler Man Murray, them niggas can be beat. You do not want Matt Eberflus, Justin Fields to roll up in the Lambeau week 18 with the playoffs on the line for the Packers. Now, I'm going to break it down for you. The Bears have not beaten the Packers in 5 years since that 2018 Matt Nagy team that won the North. And we go even further. They have not beaten the Packers in Lambeau Field. By this time will be 9 years since Thanksgiving 2015. Who could forget Jay Cutler threw 3 touchdowns? Who was the corner who got the pick? My man, it was 21. His name is escaping me. But you do not want to finish that, and then they knock the Packers out the playoffs? Oh, that's music to the McCaskey's ears. He's staying. I'm telling you right now. He's staying.
I said that weeks ago. That I believe that the Bears are going to go on the 3-game winning streak to end the season. And if the Bears do go on the 3-game winning streak and beat the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay, oh, nah, man, we're going to forget about everything that happened in the beginning of the year. But the flip side to that, too, is even if that happens, I don't think this is a hot take either. And I said this on the show before, and I'll say it again. I don't think Jim Harbaugh is going to come here in the first place because Jim Harbaugh is going to want power. And Ryan Poles is not going to cede power to get Jim Harbaugh. He's not going to be like, all right, I'll be the GM, but Jim Harbaugh gets first, he gets control of operations. So basically he has final say. No.
And
in
2024. I don't want to get too much now. I want to say that for OT.
I'm just going to say this.
Yeah, give him a little taste of the dope.
Just say, in 2024, Jim Harbaugh will be on the West Coast. I'll tell y'all later where that's going to be.
Shout out to Octane in the comments. I'm not worried about that because the Bears need to win 2 games before that happens. I'm going to be real. They might not even have to win those last 2. They beat them niggas, keep them out of the playoffs. The other 2 might not worry about that. But let's go on to Patrick Mahomes, man. Courtney, you brought it up. I hate to say this. My man Pat is a BLT merchant right now. Like, he threw some passes last night that I was like John Wall when he told Bradley Beal, I ain't never, ever seen you act like this before. Like, I don't know what's going on. I think it's a mix of, yes, they have no wide receivers. Yes, Kelsey is getting older. And Kelsey, they're defending Kelsey the best way I've ever seen him be defended. Now, I'm going to blame part of this on Taylor Swift. And I have no actual reasoning for blaming Taylor Swift on this, but I'm going to do that anyway.
Shake it off.
So then you got guys like Kadarius Toney out there. You got a couple other people, I don't even know their names, who are dropping passes. And of course, on top of all that, you got Matt Nagy's great play calling that is bringing all of this together. I'm going to go to Courtney first since you brought this up. Do you think it's time to officially worry about the Chiefs long-term, at least for this season?
I mean, I think it's time to worry about the Chiefs long term if they don't have any plan to find more offensive weapons for Patrick Mahomes. I know Travis Kelce is his guy. I respect the lore of Travis Kelce, but I also recognize that he is being doubled up a lot, down the middle a lot. And if Travis Kelce, his big ass, can't get open down the middle, then there's really no hope for Patrick Mahomes because he can't cut like he. That man's getting old. Like what can you do? Sky Moore is not that guy. Kadarius Toney, he's basically a running back now, return guy at this point, which is not a bad role for him. Maybe. I think it might be time. I don't know if it's panic time yet, but I think if they don't do anything next season moving forward, I think, yeah, they're not winning anything this year. So I'm not even thinking about this season, but moving forward for sure.
Mari, what you think about what's going on with the Chiefs?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I'm worried about them only because, like, the conversations that we're hearing right now, we haven't heard these conversations about the Chiefs, before. Like, the last time we had these conversations was Alex Smith was the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, like, now it's like, shit, if we even having the conversations, it's time to worry. But I think Pat is just in fuck it mode because he understands that no matter what goes on over there, he's not going to get blamed because his resume speaks for itself. He's already an all-time great if he leave the game tomorrow. So it's kind of like it's him with the rest of the world looking at the organization saying, what are you going to do for your guy? You look at teams like the Eagles, top of the league, and they're still getting better. They're still adding people. They're still trading for people. They're still looking for ways to get better. While the Chiefs is just like, all right, Pat, go do it again. Go make shit happen. Just go make it happen. It don't matter who you got out there. And it's like, nah, that's not the NFL that we play in today. So I'm a little bit worried about them, but not to the point where I think that like it's over with or nothing like that. Because all it takes is one game for Pat to look like Pat again, for those receivers to just go out there and just like actually catch the ball, for us to be like, oh, okay, it wasn't about shit. Now if they go on like a losing streak and looking crazy and he's out there looking like he don't really care, then yeah, it's probably time for some fucking tough conversations to be had. But right now, I still think that next week, no matter who you line them up in front of, and the week after that, I'm probably not going to bet against them. You know what I mean? Whether they lose or not, I'm probably not going to bet against them going into the game. So,
Dante, what's your panic meter for the champs?
I think my panic meters are like a 5. I mean, I know who Pat is. We know what he's done. We've seen it all. But at the same time, it's one of those things where I think this is the organization's fault. Like, you leverage your top talent and put them in this situation where it's like, okay, I pretty much, people have been calling them, the GOAT. He's, the most talented quarterback we've seen. So they're like, all right, we got a guy at quarterback. He can make anything work. So they were trying to make him just do the most with the bare minimum. And that was a slap in the face to Tyreek Hill. They didn't want to pay him, which I somewhat get because you want to pay Pat, but at the same time, your quarterback has to throw the ball to somebody. So if you're not going to pay that top receiver, you got to bring guys in. You got to draft guys that are going to stick, and they haven't done that. And so even with that said, I say my panic meter is about a 5. That's still Pat Mahomes. Like as long as they can stay healthy, the receivers, that's tricky, bro. So like that's why I say a lot of it's gonna rely on the health of Travis Kelce and everything he can do going forward. But I say about a 5. It's not time to panic yet, but it's definitely something that if they serious, which that we know they are at this point, they've won 2 Super Bowls. But if you're serious about the longevity of Pat Mahomes' career and also winning for really actually competing for these Super Bowls, you got to get some more weapons around him.
Bang! I got 2, not really 2. I'm gonna switch the question a little bit. 1, what's your panic meter for this? And 2, do you think it's more of a scheme thing or wide receiver thing for the Chiefs?
My panic mode is a 7. The reason why it's a 7 is because the Chiefs have never not been the number 1 seed with Patrick Mahomes, right? So with Patrick Mahomes, he's used to having playoff games at the crib. I think this team needs the number 1 seed. I don't think they're going to get the number 1 seed. So it's going to be interesting to see how Patrick Mahomes is on the road comparable, to him being at home. So I'm going to raise that panic meter for me to a 7. Now, this is not scheme. This is wide receivers, fam. This is basically one of those situations where your organization think you are the end all be all. You need better wide receivers than you got. All right. Let's look at Donovan McNabb, right? Donovan McNabb had a shelf life on him because the wide receivers they was throwing to until he got Terrell Owens. All right. But y'all looking at Tom Brady and thinking that Patrick Mahomes is sort of like Tom Brady, where he could throw to anybody and that shit'll work. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not going to be the case. Why? Because we knew where Tom Brady was going to be at all times. We don't know where Patrick Mahomes is going to be at. Patrick Mahomes roams, he runs, he's going to be out of the pocket, all of that stuff. You need wide receivers that's going to be able to keep up with that. And I'm sorry, none of the wide receivers that they got is going to be able to do that. Rice is the closest one to it, and he's growing, and you'll hope he growing to that. But it's also funny why none of the top wide receivers that's been in free agency since they gotten there has either not been in Kansas City or Kansas City might not just looked at him right there. All right. And that's why they let Tyreek Hill go. Because they felt like, hey, we can do this without Buddy. All we need is the person that we got right there in the middle, which is Travis Kelce. But, Kelce is too busy having sex with a pop music star. And then also, he getting triple team in the middle. The fact that they're triple teaming that man in the middle, the way that they doing on some of those plays, lets you know that they don't respect the wide receivers that they have. Yep. And the worst part about this is for a position that is ego-driven as the wide receiver position, you mean to tell me that ain't none of those wide receivers took that so much, gotten so upset to where you can't up your game up for Patrick Mahomes? No, man. They need to really invest in the wide receiver position next year.
I'll say this. I think my panic level right now is a 7. Actually not 7.5. My bad. I meant 5. And I say that because kind of like what you said, Dante. This is Pat, man. And I understand that this team has been struggling. I understand the wide receivers stink. Wide receivers ain't gonna get better overnight. Kadarius Toney, I don't know what it is. He out here looking like he worked a quick trip. Like I don't know what's going on. He done blew 2 games. Like if Kadarius Toney catches the ball, they have 2 extra wins right now against the Detroit Lions and of course against the Philadelphia Eagles in the rematch. But the reason I'm only at a 5 is Patrick Mahomes. Like, I'm giving him the Tom Brady treatment. How many times the Patriots didn't look like how they're supposed to look, but you still had Tom Brady. You still have Bill Belichick. You still got Patrick Mahomes. You still got Andy Reid. And
you still got Matt Nagy.
Yeah, exactly. You still got Matt Nagy, which I will say about this, them play calls look very familiar. So that is something that still can bring them back. But if you look at the rest of the AFC, like, look, man, like I'm not like I know they got to go on the road, but am I really worried about Miami if they still got to win a playoff game? I'm not really worried about Baltimore like that either until Lamar can make consistent throws in the playoffs. That's not really something I'm really worried about. I'm not saying these teams aren't capable of beating the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be the favorites against the Kansas City Chiefs, but as long as they got 15. I'm not really worried too much. And I don't really think that has anything to do with X's and O's. It's just a matter of it's one game on the line for the season. I got Patrick Mahomes. I got Travis Kelce. And I think they're going to find a way, man. Let's move on to my next storyline from this week 13, man. We're talking about another team who was in the Super Bowl. That is the Philadelphia Eagles, who were 10-1 coming into this NFC championship rematch against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, we all know what happened last year in the NFC championship game. The Niners were down to their 3rd string quarterback and ended up getting blown out of are they in North Philly? I think they're in North Philly. I think that's what the Lincoln Financial Field is at. And there's been a lot of trash talking between the teams. Debo out here calling Bradbury sorry, like a week after the NFC Championship game, which I love. Not only do I love you talking, but you said it right after you niggas lost. I respect it. And they came through last night. I'm gonna name right here Brock Purdy, 19-27, 314 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey went through 1,000 yards again last night. Yo, the Carolina Panthers need to be investigated. I don't even know who they traded Christian McCaffrey for. Now they traded away a pick that possibly might be Caleb Williams and also DJ Moore in that same draft. I don't know what's going on in Carolina, but they need to research that. Chris McCaffrey had 17 carries, 93 yards, 1 touchdown. And then you look, Debo Samuel, 3 touchdowns last night, man, over 150 yards total. He went on there. I don't want to say stand on business. I feel like white people and Generation X have
it's over with now.
Generation Z have ruined that phrase. But he went out there and told them what hand you roll up with, and really just went out there and dominated in this game. And I will say this before we go through the panel of what everybody thinks about this game. Listen very close to me, Eagles fans. Look, we all know Philadelphia, not just Philadelphia Eagles fans, Philadelphia sports fans aren't the most humbling fans on planet Earth, to say the least. You took the loss, accepted. Like, I saw a lot of pleas being caught. When you go to it's not a playoff game, y'all act like y'all won a championship. Let's not do that, okay? Let's not do that. Y'all were talking about the Niners all year. They went out there in your home field, stumped you out. This wasn't a close game at all. Stumped you out, and of course they're going to let you hear about it. We know it's not the playoffs. We know they're not going to get any points back from how they lost the NFC Championship game. This is a new season. The Eagles have not played a complete game all season, and all these teams let them off the hook consistently. The Niners went out there, snuffed them out right away. Great game plan by Kyle Shanahan last night. Stayed on top of it. Just take the loss. It's okay. You're 10-2. You're 10-2. I believe they're gonna be fine, but let them go out there and say what they want to say, man. Y'all looking real crazy out here, not letting the fans, talk the way they want to talk. I'm gonna go to Maury first, and then we're gonna go to Courtney for this. Maury, what you feel about that blowout we saw last night? What kind of statement you think the Niners did last night?
I mean, I think the Niners just showed why everybody else feels like they're the best team in the league. I also think they're the best team in the league. What the Eagles fans have done is the same thing as like an athlete arguing with just like the regular 9-to-5 person saying, yo, I got more money than you. Because it's like, oh, we still number one. You know what I'm saying? We still number one. It wasn't a playoff game. It wasn't this, that, and the third. But y'all lost. If y'all would have won that game, y'all would have acted like y'all never won a game in franchise history. Y'all would have went crazy. Y'all would have still been talking about it right now as we speak. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, shit, the Niners went out there and proved it. They've been talking shit all year saying, yo, if Brock Purdy was healthy, the game wouldn't have been close. I mean, you look up now, all these months later, Brock Purdy is healthy, and that game was not close. It is what it is. I'm happy they won. I'm a Giants fan, so anytime the Eagles lose, I'm celebrating that, like, no matter what. But I mean, shit, the Niners are the best team in the league. It is what it is. Take the L. The Eagles are just in a weird space where, yeah, they're better than like the average team in the league, but they operate like they're the Kansas City Chiefs. They operate like they've won a Super Bowl. Like, they talk like they've won a Super Bowl and nobody else can, like, speak to them. And it's like, dog, like, y'all, like not this team, not this one. Y'all went there, but y'all lost. So until this team together, I mean, come on, dog, like, relax. It is what it is. It's just a regular season game, right? So why y'all on your feelings, man? Just relax.
Courtney, go ahead.
I mean, my thing is, I don't want to say that there's like a kind of pattern going on with the offense, but there's a pattern going on with the offense. There's no explanation for why DeAndre Swift only carried the ball 6 times yesterday. And when Kenneth Gainwell got the ball, he was catching the ball like a slot receiver. It just doesn't make sense why this team that, mind you, I think they had like 45, 46 passes or something yesterday, which, mind you, when they played the Jets earlier this season and also lost, they had like 50 passes. This offense is just so incredibly one-dimensional. And I'm not saying that the onus strictly follows on Brian Johnson, but he's also been in that play calling room trying to help call plays since 2021. I know it's still Nick Sirianni's offense, but like, I don't know, not saying he needs to go. I'm saying maybe they got to do something there because it's just not working. No offense, Jalen Hurts is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. There's no reason, though, why he needs to be dropping back 30-ish times a game. It just doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense. I know you got A.J. Brown. I know you got Devontae Smith, but you also have DeAndre Swift. You also have Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott, when he gets in there. It doesn't make sense to me.
Bang, what you think about that statement they made last night?
Well, I'm not gonna put this on future Chicago Bears head coach Brian Johnson.
Oh, wow.
I just bullshitting. I just want to hear what Scott was. But actually, I'm kind of not bullshitting. But I just think, man, when you have a team like the Eagles who played 3 games in like 19 days or some shit like that, you know, it's gonna take a toll out of you when you going up against a team like the San Francisco 49ers. But god damn, if it was ever that team looked like, and I know this might sound blasphemous, but I'm gonna say it anyway. That team reminded me of them old San Francisco 49ers. Like Christian McCaffrey out here looking like Roger Craig. You know, ain't nobody gonna look like Jerry Rice, but you got Debo out here looking like a bully.
You get your braids short enough, you might.
I mean, you right. Yeah, you right. You know, put that motherfucker like right here. You might. You know what I'm saying? You got Kittle out here looking like I forgot my man Brent Jones out there. The offensive line of those 80s San Francisco 49ers were mean, and they mean right now. And Brock Purdy out here looking like Joe Montana. Wow. They went into Philly, could have lost all momentum when one of their linebackers get kicked out the game for accidentally stealing off the director of security who looked like he runs.
He stole off Bobby Bacala.
He runs a sanitation. He's the head of security and runs a sanitation business.
He works at Satriel's. He does the closing shift.
But man, oh man, they went into Philly and they beat the shit out them boys. Make no mistake about it, man. This San Francisco 49ers team is the best team in the NFL. So when you have an Eagles team that has played as many games as they've played in the last 3 weeks against the competition that they played too. These last 3 weeks, the Eagles ain't played no Rudies, fam. They've played.
Nah, it's been
like they have a murderer's row. So the fact that the 49ers caught them right now, I'm not gonna read that much into it, but at the same time, shit, them 49ers look good. And it was very helpful to my fantasy football team. So I'm happy about that too. Because I got Debo. Ooh,
Debo.
Dante, bring us home on this one.
Hey, the 49ers real, man. The 49ers are real. You know, we all called it sour grapes when they were saying, you know, the NFC Championship would have been different if Brock Purdy didn't get hurt. But they showed you yesterday, like, nah, when we fully loaded, we're a different team. And so, you know, this is one of those things where we can only hope as, you know, fans of the game, you know, our team ain't going to be there. But to get them at full strength for the playoffs and they can stay healthy, because this is a dynamic team. And I think this is probably, in my opinion, and I know some people are still iffy on Purdy and whatnot, but I think, in my opinion, this is probably the most talented team Kyle Shanahan has had. And so this is, you know, we talk about him, you know, finally getting over that hump and winning one. I think if it's a team that could do it, it is this one. And so I think this was a statement they needed to make. I know they had this circled on their calendar, and they came out and they showed you, like, nah, bro, we're fully loaded. This team is tough to beat, no matter who you are. Like you said, the Eagles have been rolling. Yeah, there's been some struggles with the offense. I think I'm damn near more concerned about that than the other question you asked me about, because this has been consistent even in them winning 10 games. The offense has struggled, and then they pick it up, and then, you know, they'll come on in the second half. And yeah, that shit is cool, but at some point it catches up with you. And this is one of those games where, you know, it started out as back and forth, real low scoring, but then Philly turned, not Philly, the 49ers turned up. And like I said, this was the statement they've been waiting to make. So shout out to the Niners. And I think, you know, if I'm them, I'm going back to the West Coast with my head held high. Like I did what I said I was going to do. I came and I let y'all know that, like, nah, like this is ours to take. I don't care what happened last year.
Yeah, shout out to my man Kevin, man. Quick. He gonna love that you said Brock Purdy looking like Joe Montana. He gonna love that.
Oh wow,
Purdy looking real quick, man.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, did I hear them right by saying that Christian McCaffrey was the first 1,000-yard rusher for the 49ers in like 5 or 6 years or some shit like that?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it sounded about right. Yeah, it sounded about right.
I'm about to say Frank Gore was probably the last one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been.
They just released them Heisman finalists.
Because you gotta think it was a little couple years when the
that.
Niners was kind of like, we was trying to see like what's going on type shit, and so now that they top of the league, we like, oh shit, like they really putting shit together over there. So it makes sense.
Heisman finalists got announced. We'll get to that when we get to the CFB in a minute. But let's get to our second storyline of the weekend, man. It kind of goes off with the Eagles, man. The Eagles, even though they are 10-2, and like you said, Bane, they've kind of gone through a murderous row of opponents, and they got a big Sunday night football game this Sunday in Dallas between them and the Cowboys. A place of Dallas. The Cowboys won 14 straight home games, so this is going to be something that's going to be actually extra too. But we got a low-key a stealth race for the number one seed. Like, we got three teams that in between one game. Of course, we got the Eagles at 10-2. They're scheduled. They're up at Dallas, then they're on the road to Seattle, then they're at home against the Giants. Then they will be at home against the Arizona Cardinals, and then they will close the season out on the road against the Giants. The Niners are 9-3. They're going to be home against Seattle, on the road against Arizona, at home against Baltimore, on the road against Washington, and they close out at home against the Rams. And then, of course, I said four teams. Lions 9-3. They go on the road to play the Bears this week. Then they at home against Denver, on the road against Minnesota, on the road against Dallas, and they close out at home against Minnesota. And then here's the Cowboys schedule. They're 9-3. They're going to be at home against Philly, on the road against Buffalo, on the road against Miami, on the road against Detroit. And then they close out at home against the Washington Commanders. I'm going to go to Courtney first. Courtney, do you think that the Eagles are in serious jeopardy of losing the number one seed? Like, is there any team here, the ones I just named, that you think can actually get number one, or this is just something we feel like the Eagles should still be able to hold?
No. So I'm looking, because I'm trying to look at all. I've been thinking about this because I'm looking at each team and their path. And honestly, the Cowboys, their defense is fantastic. And in my opinion, the Cowboys have the best defense out of any of the teams that are fighting for this number one NFC seed. But they also have the toughest path to get there. Lions, probably the easiest. Eagles, probably the second. Yeah, I'd be more concerned about the Niners and the Cowboys, since, again, the Eagles are still only 10-2. They got to play Dallas on Sunday, of course. I'm actually going to go to that game. Super excited. Yeah, I can't wait. And then, they play at Seattle, which, I mean, I know Seattle, I guess at one point was – no, I haven't believed in them since Thanksgiving. Actually, I really haven't believed in Seattle since Geno got paid. Let's keep it a buck. Yeah, you got the Giants, Arizona, and the Giants. Yeah, no. I'm not worried.
You're not worried. I'm telling you right now, I'm worried for them, man. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I think the Niners are gonna get the number one seed. Looking how the Niners are right now, like you just said, Courtney, I'm not worried about the Seattle Seahawks. Like, I know, quiet as kept. What Geno say? Oh, they've been writing back, nigga. They've been writing back this year. If you want to be 100% real, Geno, they've been writing back to you this year, because he has not been what he was last year. But they're gonna play Seattle, which they took care of very easily on Thanksgiving. They'll be at the crib for that one. Arizona's a win. Baltimore's gonna be a fun game. At the crib. Then they got Washington. The Rams have been stealthy too. But I'll be real, I would not shock me to see them in this year on a 6-game win streak. Like, I feel like they can win all of these. They only got 2 road games. They're awesome at the crib. And I think, if anything, if you're the Niners, you want to have that NFC Championship game, in your backyard. You want the Eagles to come to you for this one, man. If you look at Detroit's low-key been huffed the last couple weeks. We want to be real. Detroit could be on 3 in their last 3. They almost gave it up against the Saints this past week. The Bears the Bears should have beat them. And then they got destroyed by the Packers. So if you look at the rest of their schedule, they play the Bears, they play Denver, they play Minnesota twice. They could lose a couple of them. So I think the Lions, they'll still win the division, but I'm not really worried about them. Cowboys got a crazy schedule too. So I think, to me, that's why it lines up. And I do think the Eagles can go out here and have a good end to the season, but I just feel like the Niners can, it's going to be an actual competition, man, for that one. I'm going to go to Maury, man. You're the other NFC East fan here. Is there anything the Eagles should be worried about?
I mean, honestly, I think the Niners, looking at the rest of the schedule, I think the Niners do have the best chance of getting it. The Lions always do this thing. I'm born and raised Detroit, Michigan, so I know. Like, that's the reason why I'm not a Lions fan. They have this way of, like, reminding y'all, like, yeah, we still the Lions now. Don't get it fucked up. We still the Lions. But they have been having a great season, so shout out to them. But the Eagles play us twice. So, I mean, They're gonna be fine, bro. Like they have
That's
us.
Dubs.
They have us twice, and we're looking for our next quarterback in the draft. Like so, they have us twice. Pencil in 2 wins for them off the rip. I'm looking at the rest of these teams. The Niners should breeze through the rest of these games. I think so. I think if they're in danger, it's going to be and the Cowboys is the Cowboys. I mean, what are we talking about with them? This year, Jerry Jones finally tried to do the shit, but it's too little, too late. Getting Jimmy Johnson in the Ring of Honor, it's too little, too late, dog. You heard the footsteps, you heard the whispers. Everybody was telling you. You said, "Oh, here, nigga, damn," and it ain't gonna work for you, dog. I'm sorry, it's not. So
no rice, no champagne. No rice,
no champagne. You don't eat nothing. Like so, I really don't believe in them. I'm gonna. Man, it's tough, man, because the Niners could breeze through the rest of the schedule.
Yeah.
I don't think the Eagles really have to like worry. All the Eagles got to do is take care of business. Because, like I said, we talk shit about them like the Niners beating them, but it's the Niners. Niners are like Super Bowl favorites. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like a shot to say that you're not better than them. All the Eagles really got to do is just take care of business. Use that game as fuel. Use that game to say, all right, we're gonna keep this number one. I guess if I had to bet some money, I would probably say the Eagles are probably going to keep the number one slot because, again, they got us twice. So, I mean, what you want me to do?
Dante, am I overreacting about the Eagles with this? You think they're in danger of losing that?
No, they are in danger. They are in danger because I'm not going to lie to you. For the first time in a long time, I'm going to actually pick the officer down in Dallas.
Oh, okay. Officer Rain Dakota.
I mean, I damn near called him Dak, bro. You know how I feel about that. But he's really been doing this thing lately, you know. And so he got that team rolling, and I think this matchup against the Eagles is going to be one of the best games of the year, like hands down. I think we already know how that rivalry goes, but with so much on the line, and the Cowboys having the opportunity to tie them for that number one spot in the division, I think the Cowboys are going to win that game. And it's in Dallas as well, like we said. So I definitely got the Cowboys winning that game, but also the Niners. I know a few of y'all picked the Niners. I wouldn't be shocked, like you said, if they damn near ran the table. So I think if you the Eagles, you got to be on point. You got to be on point the rest of the year because you could lose one game, and I mean, like you said, they got the Giants twice, so you're probably not gonna lose those games or Arizona. But you lose one game, and somebody else runs the table. And it's gonna flip, and then the Cowboys got it. So it's,
and then the Niners will probably had the tiebreaker since they beat them. Yeah.
It's just they beat them, correct? So you really backed yourself into a corner, losing the game that you lost to the 49ers. So no, I think it's right to panic because shit could get critical real quick.
Yeah, Bang, bring us home on this one.
Hey, yo, if the Eagles beat the Cowboys, they got the number one seed. Because looking at the schedule right here, as y'all talked about, they got the Seahawks, which I worry about that a little bit because you're going across the country to go to Seattle on a Monday night. But you got the Giants twice, and then you got the Cardinals. I'm not worried about that Seahawks game, especially with Geno Smith and that elbow. You don't really know what's up with that. So the Cowboys, they beat the Cowboys. It's smooth sailing for that because the 49ers will run the table. That's the part. They will run the table.
Right.
I mean, that game against the Seahawks is a division game, but again, Geno, elbow, love, we'll see about that. But, Cardinals, they're not losing that. They're not losing to the Ravens on Christmas in San Francisco.
Right.
And those last two games of the year are food. So they have to win that Cowboys game in order for me to believe that they will win that division because I think San Francisco is going to run the table. But the caveat here is it don't fucking matter where the game at. San Francisco done already pulled your whole card in Philly. So it really don't. The San Francisco 49ers are probably in so much of a mode where they're like, we don't give a damn where the game at.
Yeah.
We gonna whoop your ass in Philly, San Francisco, Santa Clara, Sacramento, Orange County, Oakland, wherever this game at. We gonna whoop your ass.
Yeah. I did not know that was a Christmas game. So
that's game.
Niners and Lamar on Christmas. Adam Silver, tuck your whole winner in, B. Tuck your whole winner in.
Yeah.
What did Marlo tell Weebay? I'm gonna tell your people to pack up. That's what Roger Goodell's telling Adam Silver right now, man.
It is what it is.
Let's go to my final storyline of the football weekend, man. College football, dog. Before we get into the actual playoff bracket, there's a lot of fun.
Holy shit! Wait a minute, Scott. Wait a minute, because I'm sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah.
but I ain't realized it was Christmas games like this. It's the Raiders and the Chiefs, Giants and Eagles, and the Ravens and 49ers all on Christmas.
Nigga. Yeah.
Shit.
Tuck your whole winner in, B.
And it's playoff implications on Christmas Day.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Tuck your whole winner in. Gonna be a whole lot of furniture moving in my household on that. Gonna be a lot of that.
Damn.
But so with college football, so the Heisman finalists just got now. I'm gonna give them a lot of people kind of little peeved about this. So we got Jaden Daniels, quarterback at LSU. He's one of the finalists. We got my man, future Chicago Bear, Marvin Harrison Jr., Super Marv. He's one of the finalists, which a lot of people didn't expect. And then we got Bo Nix from Oregon. He's in there. He's the oldest quarterback in football. And then one, Michael Penix Jr. From Washington. He's in there. Courtney, I'm gonna go to you. Are you fine with these Heisman finalists?
I got 2 words for you.
All right.
Roll. Absolutely, I'm okay with it. Absolutely, I'm okay with it. The system has been broken since it, and I'm not the first person to say this. It's not some groundbreaking thought. The system was broken when they we're calling them, Power 5 conferences for a college football playoff that it only included 4 teams. I'm not a genius, but the math did math from the beginning, because what do you do in situations like this? Someone was always going to be the odd man out. And in a business, which is what this is, that we have made it a business, you cannot leave out the SEC champion. An SEC team has never been out of the playoff. You cannot do it. You can't do it. The precedent is not there. And listen, I know we used to, if Jordan Travis, hell yeah, if Jordan Travis didn't get hurt, maybe we'd be having a different conversation. But also, I don't even know if I necessarily believe that, because if Florida State couldn't take care of business when they needed to take care of business, you didn't have the dominant wins that you needed. Sorry, tough luck. Maybe try again next year. I don't know what to tell you.
I know Courtney is in full Bama mode, because I definitely asked about the Heisman.
I definitely. Jalen Milroe.
I'll just let you cook.
Should be
I was like, I'm gonna let you cook. You
she was
going. She was ready to get that off.
That's the clip. That's the clip.
100%.
That's the clip.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you was like, Drewski, I don't give a piss about nothing but the time.
Yeah, that's
Blitz,
it.
Bama,
Blitz.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, the whole Heisman candidacy right now, honestly, it's not even a debate for me. I don't really trust any of these dudes. I mean, I give it to the dude in Ohio State. Give it to Marvin Harrison. He's probably end up being the first pick of the draft anyway.
Nope.
I'm calling this clip nothing but the tide.
Nothing but the tide.
Nothing but the tide. Bang, what do you think about these Heisman finalists? And then we'll get to the playoff.
Yeah, man, this is what it should have been in the first place. How the season went, man. You got Jaden Daniels, who's probably the most electrifying quarterback we have in college football. You have Murder Marv Jr., who's definitely been doing this thing. I'm not calling him Maserati. Yeah, I'm calling him Murder Marv Jr.
Hey, Bang shooting 100% on the nicknames this year.
Hey, man. Hey, y'all saw ESPN. Y'all did see the ESPN.
Oh yeah,
the thing with Marvin Harrison, right?
100%.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah,
okay, I just want to make sure, because there's some people who say they ain't seen it, and I understand why.
I was about to say,
I'm about to say I don't recall.
I don't even know who we're talking about.
They won't know what we're talking about. But Murder Marv Jr., he really out there is doing this thing. Bo Nix, who was called Bo Picks while he was in Auburn. He's really shined in Oregon. And Michael Penix Jr., of course, he should be there. So no, I think homie at Alabama towards the end of the season, after getting benched a little bit, he really came on. He does has a Heisman moment with that miracle ass play at Auburn. But nah, I actually I actually think that the quarterbacks are going to cancel each other out. I think they're going to split that vote. And I think in the first time in quite some time, we're going to have a wide receiver win the Heisman.
Mari, what you feel about these candidates?
I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at the finalists. I think if I had to vote in it, I'd probably say Jaden Daniels would be my pick. But the only thing I am interested in is if they were to give this to Marvin Harrison Jr., I just want them to mention that he's 0-3 versus the almighty Michigan Wolverines. That's all. That's the only thing I'm really showing up for. So if they do give that to him, remember that he's 0-3 versus us, and we in the playoffs and they ain't. I just got to say that anytime I get a chance to say it. But I'm not mad at the finalists, though. I mean, I think obviously, like, you know, all jokes aside, I wouldn't be mad if he won. I mean, that motherfucker was unstoppable, bro. Like, he almost carried that team by himself, like, in that game versus us. So, I mean, I wouldn't be mad if he got it. I wouldn't look at it and be like it was some robbery or whatever. You know, but you know, and I think the thing that Scott forgot to mention was that, you know, when he said Bo Nix, the oldest quarterback, he meant oldest quarterback in football, period. Like, in football, like alive, like he's the
not just college.
Period. Yeah, not just college, like pros and all that too, retired people and all that. You know,
he's older than Joe Burrow.
Yeah, 100%, and he's still yet to be drafted. So I mean, that's kind of, you know, you can't give him that shit, dog. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dog. What are we doing here? You know, but yeah, I mean, that's that on that, man. Shout out to Jane Daniels. That dude is fucking amazing.
Dante, what you think about this?
I really like how the Bo Nix joke is gonna keep going, because like he's definitely not older than Joe Burrow, but I got you. I think the Heisman finalists, I agree with it. I think, like you said, Jaden Daniels, he lit shit up. I know a lot of people are anti transfer portal, but him coming over from Arizona State and doing what he did at LSU, he was amazing. You know, I think he will possibly be if they don't make a move, the future Atlanta Falcons quarterback. That's a sneaky pick, but I think Marvin's gonna get it. I think Jaden he should win it, but I think Marvin's gonna win it. He was just amazing. He did it on a national stage all year long. You know, LSU was kind of disappointing this year, and so when you look at everything Ohio State accomplished, you look at everything Marvin did. So that's gonna be his, you know, pardon gift, like you said, one of the best prospects coming out that we've seen in recent memory from the wide receiver position. Potentially number 1 overall pick. I think it's Marvin's to lose.
Yeah, I'm gonna say give it to Super Marv, man. Super Marv, Murder Marv, whatever nickname you want to give him. He is the only generational talent to me in this draft. Not Caleb Williams, definitely not Drake May. I like the other candidates on Michael Penix. I think I'll be fine with him winning that. I would say this about Bo Nix. Bo Nix is coming to a car dealership near you in the New Jersey area, whatever else this nigga says that. That is where his future will be. It will not be in the NFL. So that's what I'm gonna say about that, man. But let's talk about the actual playoffs. You know, of course, we all know Courtney spoke her piece, so I'm gonna go with everybody else. But the bracket is set. It will be Washington taking on Texas, and it will be the Alabama Crimson Tide going against the Michigan Wolverines. We've got, of course, Courtney already told you, it's nothing but the Tide over there. We all know Mari is holding it down. It's holding it down.
It's not the Tide.
Courtney, did you like how Pat McAfee trolled those Georgia fans? That was
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I did, especially after getting barked at all weekend. That was crazy. By the way, Georgia fans are weird, real weird. That's a different reason. But yeah, Pat, he's a showman. I respect the hell out of it.
Pat is definitely a showman, man. To me, as somebody, this is my first full year actually like watching college football, so I am an outsider. I'm not outside. I'm a beginner. And shout out to everybody in college football Twitter who embraced me this year. But I'm looking at it like this. I know a lot of people are upset about Florida State not making it, and I get it. But without their quarterback, I don't want to see backup quarterbacks on New Year's Day when I'm recovering, trying to chill. I want to see the best matchups possible. We can sit up here and talk about the committee and how they decide to choose it. That's a whole other debate. And I don't think you're wrong in thinking that they weren't robbed, because they were, honestly. But as a fan, I'm totally fine with this. I want to see the best competition in Georgia. When they lost to Bama this weekend, we all know it was a wrap for them. I have no problem with Michigan or anybody in there. I think we got two very competitive games, man. I don't know who's going to win this because we got Texas in there. Shout out to Sark. I did not know he was married to a black woman until recently. Big shout out to him.
Dressing too.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, big shout out to him, man. So I don't know who I'm gonna pick in this, but I do like the bracket and who we have. Dante, what you think about the 4 teams who selected?
I mean, I'm gonna let my full SEC bias show because I think UGA should have still got in. Fuck it, like I don't.
Man, that I'm gonna wait, but
I don't want to hear none of that. Like UGA has lost one game in damn near 3 years, and they don't get a shot to defend their title. They back-to-back titles. No, fuck that. I don't care what conference you came from, who you beat. No, I didn't like that. But I mean, I get it. I understand it, especially with Florida State being held out because their quarterback is injured. You know, it's one of those moments where fans have to realize, you know, it's kind of like with the BCS. Like I remember, you know, we were in high school and like we were still paying attention to, but like even with the BCS, it was always somebody that was left out, and then they always had to remind people like it's about the matchups, it's about the fan bases that are going to travel. And you know, Washington is Washington is the lesser of the 3 schools, but you're going to still have 4 really great fan bases traveling to these arenas to fill these stadiums for these games. So I think the playoffs will still be exciting, but no, I think UGA should have still got in. Like Washington, the Pac-12 is garbage. It's over with. You could have put them somewhere else. I would have took UGA and Bama both in.
Go ahead, man.
All right, it's a double-edged sword here. I don't agree with best teams versus most deserving. I think it should be the most deserving. You do all of that shit, yes, you should have a chance to go for the national championship game. With that being said, I can only speak on how the committee has everything set up, and I still got an issue with it because if we're picking the best teams, I don't want to hear about who won the division or who won the conference and all of that. Yeah, everybody on TV and the committee keep saying we want the 4 best teams. I'm sorry. Georgia is one of the 4 best teams. I don't give a fuck what Texas won. All right? Texas don't belong up in this shit. I'll give Washington grace because they were undefeated in the conference and they beat Oregon twice. But they ain't better than Georgia either. If we going strictly by best teams, how them niggas said it, then it's Michigan, Alabama, Georgia. I don't give a fuck. Literally. That's how that shit should go. Once you get past those 3, I don't give a damn. Put whoever you want there. But it should be deserving because the worst thing about this shit that I've been seeing all of the people saying is, and even the commissioner, because I watched the shit that he said yesterday, and he basically said what everybody is trying to deny out loud. If Jordan Travis was the quarterback, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yep.
So everybody keeps going on TV talking about but the strength of schedule of Florida versus Alabama. No, the niggas done already said the shit out loud. If Jordan Travis was the quarterback, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But again, y'all keep saying the 4 best teams. I don't give a fuck if Jordan Travis was there or not. They're not better than Alabama. They're not better than Georgia. So they need to figure out if it's Uchi-Wally or is it one Mike. Because if it's Uchi-Wally, then just put the 4 best teams up in there. Just guarantee somebody from the SEC gonna be there and call it a night. But what they did, and what's crazy is a lot of people on that committee is from the ACC. So that makes it even wild that I learned today. Yep. But what they did was basically say the loud part out loud for real, that the SEC gonna be in this bitch regardless. They got a spot. We'll figure out the other 3 later. And if I am somebody in college football who's totally against all this expansion and shit like that, they just told you, come to death row, my nigga, so you will have a chance. That's basically what they said. Come to death row, my nigga, or go to bad boy. Your ass go to the SEC or your ass go to the Big Ten. If you ain't in one of those 2, we really don't give a fuck about you. And it's simple. They just said it out loud for the first time.
Mari, bring us home on this one.
So Obviously, I'm pleased with it. You know what I'm saying? Michigan #1, obviously, right? Here's the thing, though, that I want Michigan fans to understand. Don't sit up here and cry about people doubting us and all this other shit. We really haven't. We have to prove it, dog. Like, we got here, we done showed up, and we done lost the teams we shouldn't have lost to. We got to fucking prove it. I'm glad that we're playing Bama. Win, lose, or draw, I'm glad we playing Bama because that's the team that people looking at this Bama team and they like, oh shit, like, oh, this shit is gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. So if we beat Bama, then there's nothing else to talk about. Now we don't have anything to talk about. Everybody can stop talking this shit about Jim Harbaugh. We can get off of this shit. The assistant coach crying and all this shit. We can get off of all of that shit. We have a chance right now to shut everybody up. We just beat that fucking putrid team in that fucking putrid place again for the third straight time. I'm gonna keep saying that every time I get a chance. It's just a part of who I am. We just beat them again. Let the world know that they shouldn't be mentioned in the same conversation as the real niggas. Like, please don't mention them with us. Please don't. But I'm glad that we playing Bama. But I do agree, Georgia being left out. I'm not saying Bama should have been left out, but come on, dog. Like, how you gonna keep Georgia out of this shit, dog? Like, man, shit.
Not right. It ain't right.
Yeah, but just to kind of seal it up, I'm excited about it because again, we're playing a very quality opponent, and if we get this W, there ain't shit to talk about, dog. Like, we get this W, we're winning it all. I'm gonna tell you right now, the winner of Bama Michigan is winning it all. Period. So it is what it is.
The gauntlet has been laid, man. We've got 10 more minutes left on this episode, man. As you see at the bottom of the screen, patreon.com/BarbersChat Network. We're going to have, I'm not going to hold you, OT, me, Bang, and Dante will be breaking down all the stuff in Chicago sports. So if you want to get that, subscribe at the bottom right now. So we're going to wrap this up talking about Courtney's favorite league, the NBA. As we're going to talk about the in-season tournament, the quarterfinals, the quarterfinals, the knockout round is literally about to start in about 8 minutes. The Celtics and the Pacers about to kick off, man. So let's give a little bit of predictions. This will be the last week in the in-season tournament, which I thought has actually been pretty, competitive and pretty, entertaining. We're gonna give Courtney a pass on this one, so it's basically, we're gonna give our picks on this one.
You got to talk about the Tide again on this one. Like, now the Tide going to beat the Celtics.
I don't give nothing but it's but the Tide.
I don't give nothing no piss but the Tide. I don't care about no Jason Tatum. All I care about the Tide. That's what Courtney's gonna say. We don't care about them mulatto babies. I don't care nothing about the Tide. Bye. But so we got the Pacers and the Celtics tonight, and then we got Zion going up against the Kings. By the way, I love De'Aaron Fox, but Swiper is a trash nickname. We need to give my man a better nickname. And then tomorrow, you got the big dogs, man. We got Giannis, Cream City, Dame Lillard, and they'll be taking on the New York Knicks in that knockout round. And then you got LeBron versus KD at Staples Center for the knockout round for that. The semifinals will be Thursday in Las Vegas, and the championship game will be Saturday on ABC in Las Vegas, man. I'm going to get my predictions on this. I think that the Celtics going tonight. I think it's going to be a very, very good game. I love what Tyrese Halliburton is doing out there. A team that I used to watch, a certain basketball team that plays on Madison that me, Dante, nor Mark will be giving any name to. Instead, they got a florist who didn't even start at Florida State, but I'm not going to, continue to rip out. But Tyrese Halliburton has been amazing. I like what he's doing with this Pacers team. But this is the year for Boston for them to actually do it. And I think the best way to do that is to go out here and get this tourney cup. So I think they'll advance to the next round. This game, to me, between the Kings and the Pelicans is going to be really, really good. Two young teams. I really love the Zion has been playing all these games so far. I'm gonna go with the Pelicans. I'm going to go with the Pelicans. And if you're Adam Silver, you want the Pelicans to win. You want to have your top players be in Vegas this weekend. So I think Zion's going to win that one. And then you go tomorrow night, I'm going to go with the upset, man. I think the Knicks are going to beat the Bucks. I want to see the Bucks win.
That boy was really just out in Queens. I could tell you really was just out there in Queens.
He caught the vibes. He caught the vibes. He's in there,
boy.
I'm gonna go with the Knicks tomorrow, man. I think the Knicks win that, and they will play the Celtics. Knicks Celtics for a chance to go to the Tourney Cup. That's gonna be a little bit, thing that both cities gonna love. And then we got Bron versus KD. I just don't like how the Suns team is constructed. I just don't. It just makes no sense to me. I don't like it whatsoever. I think that the Lakers are going to win this game. I think it's going to be a good game, competitive game. But I got the Lakers winning this. And then the West, it will be the Pelicans and the Lakers. In the East, it will be the Celtics and the Knicks. And my championship on Saturday, I know Adam still wants this. Lakers Celtics for the Tourney Cup, for the NBA Cup on Saturday night, and I got the Boston Celtics win the first ever NBA Cup. I'm gonna give it to Mari, man. Who you got in these first two games, and who you got winning the whole thing?
So I do want to see my dog PD Tyrese Halliburton. I do want to see them. I do want to see them advance. However, we're talking about this is not a one-on-one tournament. This is a team game. I'm gonna take the Celtics in that game. I'm also gonna take the Pelicans. Zion is Zion. I mean, it is what it is. When he ain't on what he on the court, and on the court, he's showing up. I like him. So give me them. Tuesday game, that's hard for me to go against Dame, man. It really is. That's my dog. So I'm gonna take the Bucks and I'm gonna take the Lakers because that Suns team, this is like the least hype, most vanilla big three
ever.
You want to call it like ever, bro. Nobody gives a fuck. I'm sorry. Like, I don't want to piss off any Phoenix Suns fans or whatever, but nobody gives a fuck about them. They don't. And then after that, so that'll be what? Celtics, Bucks, and then Pelicans, Lakers. Give me the Bucks and the shit. Give me the Bucks and the Lakers, bro. And then give me the Bucks to take it all. Yeah, I'm going.
I'm gonna go with Bang. Bang, what you got?
Man, I hope I'll go with my hope first. All right, man. I hope it's the Pacers. I hope the Pacers win their game. I hope that the Knicks win their game. I hope that the Pelicans win their game, and I hope that the Suns win theirs. Then I hope that the Pelicans upset the Suns. I hope that the Knicks upset the Pacers, and I hope
you want
that
Adam
the
Silver's
Knicks,
nightmare. That's what you want.
I hope that the Pelicans win this bitch. I told y'all when this in-season tournament started.
You don't want to tighten.
I don't want to tighten the win, fam. I want them to give us hope, false hope, that there might be another contender and all of that stuff. But you was cooking, Scott.
I'm not mad.
This is a perfect time for Celtics versus Lakers again. All right, for another trophy. Okay, to win the first in-season tournament. Oh, what a cool it would be. David Stern is out here playing the sixth man right now. He is Kadeem Hardison. He got all his shorts in there. He gonna be blocking shots and all of that shit. Hey man, I could hope that the Pelicans take this home because I don't want to tighten the win. But yeah, the NBA know what the fuck they doing, man. Lakers versus Celtics, and the Celtics win it.
Lakers, Celtics, Vegas. Oh, everybody flying out. Everybody flying out.
Everybody flying out. Nigga, Denzel Washington got his ticket right now.
Right now, dog. Right now. Floyd done bought up 5 seats already. Dante.
Girl collection is gonna be lit. Girl collection is gonna be lit.
Hey man, hey dog. Whatever workers out there, I'm not gonna say what kind of workers. You might make a lot of money this weekend. But Dante, bring us home.
I got Celtics gonna beat the Pacers. I actually got the Kings beating the Pelicans. I know the Pelicans are, doing their thing right now, but I really like that Kings team. I got I just don't enjoy watching Julius Randle play basketball.
Nobody does.
The Knicks would be perfect to make it to the finals, but I got them losing to the Bucks. I got the Lakers, and then I got the Lakers going to the finals. I got the Bucks going to the finals, and I got Cream City taking it as well, bro.
There we go.
They're gonna hold it down.
Let's go.
There we go.
Hey, real quick. Do you think that the NBA should let the Sacramento Kings win this to pay back the sins of the Tim Duncan?
Only if they let Chris Webber and them sign like 10-day contracts and let them win too. But other than that, no.
No, because Bang, like I told you,
nah.
Yeah, like I told you when they first announced this tournament shit, everybody thinking it's gonna be the chance for the one-offs to get a ring. No, it's gonna be just like soccer. The Titans are gonna be the ones winning these rings.
You said
bro.
it.
Like, get ready. Like,
yeah.
Do they got to put that shit on the back of their jersey if they win? Like, do you get one of them?
champions.
Yeah, like cup champions, like the back of the damn shit right there.
I don't know if y'all people had a light malfunction back here, so I look 30
you
times
did.
more light than I am. But
you did.
We all good to go.
You look like you when the camera came back up, it looked like you was looking at porn, my nigga.
Looked like you was in a like what's the Busta Rhymes and Janet shit? Like they was in that joint.
That motherfucker was like,
on it.
Hey, he was looking at that shit. Was like, oh shit, Dante put the full screen back.
I'm like, y'all put the full screen up at the wrong time. But we got that fixed, man. But that's all we got for y'all on the show today. We're about to do, I'm not gonna hold you, overtime OT. Of course, you can go over right now, patreon.com/Barber's Network. Pay the $5, man. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? This was for the holidays, man. Help us help you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So subscribe to that. We'll be back on Friday. Mikey will be back. Mikey's got a lot to say. We haven't had Mikey on it in a minute. Mikey will be back. We had a heated debate about this number one pick race in the group chat. So I'm interested to see what he's gonna say about that on Friday. But hey, excuse me, I want to thank Mari for filling in for Mikey this week, man. Always good to have my brother on, man.
Absolutely.
Are we expecting a new episode of Shot Clock and also your own pod?
Oh no, absolutely. So All for the Love, which y'all can catch. We on episode 24, 25, and 26 are recorded. They aren't out just yet, but 26 just got recorded yesterday. Special guest. I ain't going to announce it just yet, but it's going to be well worth the wait. Shot Clock Show. Shout out to my brother Just. We are definitely gearing up to record something. Probably this week. Like y'all can get something soon, but y'all gonna have some content, man. But in the meantime, y'all can follow me on Twitter at Mariano 2 N's 2 O's. Like I tell you, she asked me for money. Other than that, man, you know what I'm saying? We here. I'm always glad to be here. You already know it's family, so that shit ain't about nothing, man.
Definitely, man. You know to follow everybody. I mean, you know to follow me on Twitter at BarbChat Scott. Follow Dante at October Zone Tay. Follow Courtney at 1-800-CALLER-BRO. And of course, follow JR Bang at JR Bang on all platforms, man. Some dude debuting on the Barbershop Network this week. Check that out. Check out First Black Champ. A lot of stuff been going on in WWE. My man CM Punk back. There's been a lot of CM Punk coverage on the network, so check all that out. We about to talk Chicago sports on the other side on the Patreon, man. I'm not going to hold you overtime. We'll holler at y'all. And if you don't watch that, we'll see y'all on Friday. We up out of here.
That paper on display, I haters old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not going to hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not going to.